Well, g'day there guys. What I'd like to talk about today is hemp and why I love it so much. Yes, I'm talking about hemp, H-E-M-P. I eat hemp seeds all the time. They're a great source of omega-3 protein. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, like I was saying, I eat hemp seeds. And I'm doing it illegally because in Australia and New Zealand it is against the law to sell hemp seeds for human consumption. Yes, that's right. We are the only countries in the whole entire world where it is illegal to sell hemp seeds and hemp products to eat. It's kind of weird. You can grow it, but it can't be sold for human consumption, which is pretty screwed up, considering they're such a great health food. So yeah, hemp seeds are really high in protein and an awesome source of omega-3s, but you're not allowed to eat them. You have to sell them to your dog. The hemp industry is starting to come back in Australia after being shut down by the petrochemical industries many years ago. Once was a time when rope, sailing ships, sails, books, paper, everything used to be made out of hemp. People used to build buildings out of hemp. It's a great natural fibre. It's a natural substance. It grows really well, really easily. We don't need to be chopping down trees for paper or houses when we can grow hemp. You look at the lifetime it takes to grow a mature tree, and then they just chop it down for paper or wood chips. Hemp grows from seed to maturity in 4 months. It's a weed. It doesn't take much water. It grows on its own, virtually. It's really natural, really good to use for everything. Industrial hemp should come back in a big way, but the powers that be that run the petrochemical industries and timber mill industries and all that just won't allow it. You look back to the 1930s, Henry Ford even built a car out of hemp. That's right, he built a Ford car from hemp. So hemp is also carbon negative. So in this day and age when everyone's talking about carbon footprint and everything like that, and the carbon tax and carbon credits and carbon this and that, and all the carbon it takes to produce buildings and infrastructure and all the rest of it. Well, hemp at all stages, even when it's produced into a building, is carbon negative, so it sucks carbon out of the air and puts it back into the soil where it belongs. Carbon is actually good. It's good for the soil, but it's not good in the air. It's not good for us to be breathing. So this is why I love hemp. This is why I think hemp needs to be promoted as much as possible and needs to come back. I'm going to post a link down below, down there, to a petition that you can sign. That will hopefully get the politicians thinking straight about hemp, get them revisiting the idea of putting it on the tables of Australian people, putting it back into their mouths where it belongs. Hemp is not a dirty word. Hemp is a health food. Industrial hemp is not marijuana, it's not cannabis. You're not going to get stoned from eating it. There's virtually no THC in it at all. So there's so many positives around hemp, very little negatives, but for some reason it's bloody illegal. Makes no sense at all. Wake up Australia, get behind hemp now. Here's another weird thing about hemp. In the United States of America, it is illegal to grow hemp. You cannot grow it, but you're allowed to eat it. It's exactly the opposite to Australia. So the Canadians are loving that fact, and they know that the Americans are hungry for hemp. Hemp is hugely popular as a health food over there, and the Canadians are allowed to grow it. So the Canadians grow it and send it into America for the Americans to eat. Fucked up crazy world we live in. Government's just screwing it. Sorry for the rant. Hope to educate you a little bit on this, and Hope that made sense. I'll chuck a few links down below, and you can read more about hemp and what it's good for and why we should be eating it. See you next time.